Good morning, it's Robin, and it's Tuesday, so this is Robin's Ramblings. Got a lot to talk about today. So I wanted to let you know some of the things that I have finished. This cute little hat, it was a really easy pattern. I made this for my grandson, and I'm going to be mailing this off to him today. He wanted a hat that didn't have any puffy stuff on top, so I just found a real simple hat pattern online. Looks good, huh? I think this crocheted up really well. I like the way the fabric looks. Simple, that's what he wanted. So I found this free pattern online. It was easy to follow and it comes in all sizes. It's intended for a size 5 or 6 weight yarn, so I had to fiddle with the pattern just a little bit. I probably would have added 1 or 2 more rows to the crown if I do this again in the 4 weight yarn. And I just used basic 4 weight red heart yarn. So nothing fancy at all about this. This was yarn left over from a blanket that I made for the family, and he wanted this green, so that's what I did. Now the other thing is this knit hat. This horrible knit hat. This poor thing. I like the way the top turned out, but this was supposed to be straight knit all the way down. And as you can see, that is not what happened. I don't know. I lost track. I got it flipped around, and then I did it again. I can't believe I did it a second time. So yeah, this poor thing. But it's basically done. I'm just weaving in the ends on it, and it doesn't look too horrible on. I like it. I like the way it turned out. So as long as nobody knows that these were errors, they'll obviously be able to see the mistakes around in the back, but I don't think anybody's going to be looking that close at it. It's warm, and it's going to work great for out here. So I'm liking the knit hat. So we're going to call it done. And it's not a complete fail because I did learn a lot of things.
Alert done for.
I think I just need to let him out. I'll be right back. You can come back in. Thank you. So yep, here at work, and that's kind of what I do, is I let trucks in and out all day. This particular one I didn't have to check out, so I knew it was just going to take a second. Okay, so I've been using my crochet book, my journal, writing all this stuff down. I have a list of things that I want to accomplish right off, and it was doing that knit hat, making that green hat, starting the sweater for my grandson. I'm going to do that today. I'll get it started today. And then I've got a couple of cowls that I want to do, a couple of crochet alongs. The first one is called the Cozy Collection Crochet Along. It's done over the course of 3 weeks, and I have done crochet alongs by these guys before, and their patterns are written really well. The instructions are quite clear. They're somewhat available for questions if you've got problems. So what we've got going on, see if the computer will let me show you this. The first week, which starts on the 17th, the first week we're going to do some mittens, and those are made out of a DK weight. And I found this in my stash. Isn't that pretty? It's a purple, it's a deep purple, very, very soft, merino whims. I got this from Furls. I got this from Furls when I was ordering some things at Christmas. I threw in a couple of their yarns just to get an idea what they were like. And this is fine superwash merino wool, and 50% of the wool, 50% nylon, 182 yards. I think this is going to be really, really nice for those mittens. And I've got 2 of these, so that should be enough to make them. And then the second week we do some socks, which is what I'm really interested in. And I don't think that's going to, nope, I tried and that's not going to work. But it's a cute little pair of knit socks. They're not chunky like a lot of the knit socks are that you see, but they're ankle socks, so it's something I might actually finish. That's what I'm excited about, is that they're ankle socks. I'm supposed to have some sock yarn. I know I have some sock yarn in a box somewhere. I'm not sure where, but I did pick this up recently, and this is a fingering weight yarn. You can see it's very thin. It's beautiful. It's called Croquet, Red Heart Croquet. I've not used it before. 239 yards. I will need twice. Yeah, I may not even have enough of this because I would need 3 of those. And I don't know that this would work anyway. It's got the sparklies in it. It's really pretty, but it isn't soft at all. I don't know. This may not, that may not be an option. So we'll see. I'm just gonna have to dig through the boxes and find my sock yarn. Luckily, I've got 2 weeks to do that. And then the third thing is a hat. And it is made from, no, it is just not sure. Oh, there it is. Okay. It is made from the stitching on this. It's a herringbone half double crochet something. Anyway, moss stitch maybe? I don't know. Herringbone half double crochet. It's a really pretty hat, really pretty design. And I don't necessarily need another hat, but I do like learning the new stitches. And I find that a hat is a nice small project to give you enough time to really get used to it and have something decent when you're done, just like these other 2 hats I just did. So this is a free crochet along, and I will attach the information at the bottom for that too. Oh no, somebody going down the hill. That's not for us. Okay. Then the other crochet along that I want to do is from Hooked on Homemade. And this crochet along is for a mandala blanket. It's very, very pretty. I kind of have gotten hooked on the mandala blankets because I like all the different colors in them that I don't have to pick very much. This is, there we go. That's the mandala blanket she's doing. I like the little ruffly part there. That one really spoke to me. What I liked about this is it's, again, another free one. And she releases a chunk of the pattern once a week, every Friday, for 10 weeks. So that gives me lots of time to get through it. These other ones, the Cozy Collection, you've got 1 week, and I don't always have enough crochet time in 1 week to get through a whole pattern, especially if it's something that I'm really like me. Well, the mittens and the socks, I haven't made either one of those, so those could end up being things that takes me a little more concentration, a little more time. And if we're busy here, I don't always have that much time. If also when we're busy here, I'm picking it up, putting it down, picking it up, putting it down, and I lose my concentration. And that's how I made all these mistakes on this very, very simple knit hat, which turned into this knit nightmare. So that's what I'm a little bit concerned about with that particular cow. I'm gonna give it a go though. Even if I just get through the first week with the mittens, it'd be good to have some mittens here. The other thing that I think I want to do is called, it's a hashtag. So if you put in hashtag 2022 Wacky Make a Do, 2022 WACKYMAKEADO, Wacky Make a Do. And I can't remember the name of the gal who is running it, Alaska something. She's from Alaska, and she's just funny. But you know how every day is National Something Day? Like today happens to be National Milk Day. I heard that on the news this morning. So the premise is you pick a day, and they would like you to do one for each quarter. So basically 4 days throughout the year, and you do something that relates to that day. And it doesn't have to be crocheted. It can be any kind of fiber arts. It can be any kind of performing arts. Just whatever you want to come up with in your little head to showcase that specific day. I'm interested. It's small, so it's nothing, you know, like some of these projects are pretty big projects. I like the idea it's small. I like the idea that there's can be some humor in it. And I already have 3 of them picked out. So she sent us out a list, the National Whatever Day list, and you just go through and pick what you want. And then you put that hashtag on there and look it up, and then you can see what the other people are doing. So I'll attach the hashtag down below. There are already people doing things. There was a lady that did a on the first Polar Bear Plunge Day. She did a video. It's different, but it's awesome. I really, really liked it. So National Polar Bear Day. But yeah, take a look at those. Even if you're not interested in participating, go in and just put in that hashtag and look those things up and see the different videos that are popping up. They're really, really fun. So that's all the stuff that I've got written in here. Of course, forever and always going through the yarn wall and cleaning that stuff out, getting them listed in here so I know what I've got. That makes a big difference. You know, just like I said, that sock yarn, I know I've got a package of sock yarn. I don't know how many yards I have. Should be enough. I've got 3 balls, and I think I know where it is, but it would be nice to know exactly where it is. So for that beautiful mandala blanket, what I'm thinking of, the whole reason that I want to do that blanket is, that pretty blanket, is to use up some of the yarn that I already have sitting around left over from other projects. So this is what I'm looking at. I have this bucket of yarn, and this is left over from the temperature blanket. So those are a bunch of the colors in the temperature blanket. The problem is I don't have more of this. I think I've got more of a couple of the colors, maybe one of the purples, because I knew I was using a lot of those, and I did buy some more. But so for a blanket like that, you need quite a bit of the individual colors, where mine will be more rainbowy. I don't know. And then these are the other options. These were left over from another blanket that I did. Sometimes when I do a blanket, like this particular blanket, I needed a variety of colors, but I only used a very, very few yards of any one color. Like, you know, 20 or 30 yards, and you've got a whole skein. And that's where this green came from that I did his hat. I think I probably have enough to do a whole nother hat. So I have to figure out which colors I want to use and how much yarn of any given color that I have, because I'm not buying more. The whole idea is to use this up. And I have a few more, I do have a few more random skeins of the Red Heart, just the basic Red Heart yarn. Yeah, like this. I know I have a few more skeins of these in another bin in the other room that I bought for some square to squares, where again I needed a handful of yards of this color and that color. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to pick out it. It has 6 colors in it. I'm probably going to use more than that, and I don't know, we'll see. It might just end up being one of those things where I don't love the colors, but it was a good way to use up some yarn and learn some new stitches. And then I've got a blankie that can just be tossed around. That's important too. I like to have blankies that can just be tossed around. They aren't special. They don't have to be taken care of very, I mean, you know, you want to take care of all of them, but it can just be thrown in the washer and dryer, and it's fine if it ends up on the floor. Where there's a couple blankets, one that I'm working on right now, where if it ended up on the floor, I would be very upset, because it is very intricate and it's taking me a lot of work to get it done. So anyway, that's what I've got going on right now. That is today's update. We're going to be moving in a few days, so when we end up set up for several weeks, and we've been here, we were here at Christmas, we were here at Thanksgiving, so I think we got here about the middle of November, so a couple of months. When you sit in a place for a few months, you end up kind of spreading out, and in order to move, everything has to be in lockdown. So it's a good time for me to put things away and rearrange things and get rid of some stuff that has, you know, things just kind of move in and stay there. So, and now I've got extra stuff because, of course, my microwave broke. We have a built-in microwave convection oven, and it broke. So then we had to go buy a microwave, so it's sitting on the table. So that's another thing that will have to be placed some, because it can't ride on that table when we go. So this week may not be as much crocheting as I normally can get done. And I absolutely have to figure out what colors I'm going to use for this crochet along. And I got to find that sock yarn. The other one, the hat is just made out of worsted 4, which I've got gobs and gobs and gobs of. So I got a car coming in, truck coming in. I will say goodbye, and I'll see you guys later. Have a great time.